Hello everybody, welcome back to F1 Manager 24. In today's episode we're taking on, well, we're simming the Hungarian Grand Prix, then we are taking on Belgium, and then we're probably going to sim Zandvoort as well. I'm not a big fan of the Zandvoort circuit. I think it's good, it's a good circuit, but not for F1. The races aren't brilliant around Zandvoort, but I have installed a little mod that allows us to see engine performance. If you've played the F1 24 racing game with the controller, or the wheel, we're actually driving the race. Anyway, I'm getting lost in a description. You can get an engine performance of who's doing what. So I'm going to put that on the screen now, and you can see that our upgrades we've bought to the car are actually making us the 4th fastest car on the grid. So we are in our what we would call natural position, sitting in 4th place in the constructors, joint there with Mercedes. So very interesting. This is also the mod and the database editor that I am going to use going into season 2 when we decide what calendar we want to have running in season 2 in terms of getting rid of some races, making some other sprint wins. So get your ideas in the comment section. Let me know down below what you would like to see. But going into Hungary, we were having a little look at our cars, because if we have a look now, I think front wing 1 is much better. Yes, we have, I think it's one of the underfloors here, gives us, not an underfloor, it's definitely not an underfloor. What was it, a chassis then? Was it a chassis? Chassis number 3. So chassis number 3 would be very good in this, but it's actually not ready to go on the car. We have number 2 there, number 1 is worse. I swear there was something we had as an old design which was actually better on cornering, which we should therefore put on this car, because in Hungary you need to be better at the cornering speeds. It's the suspension. So we are going to pop on suspension number 1. We're going to go back to an old style suspension for Hungary and see how it goes, because it should, in theory, make us quicker in Hungary, because it favours, well, crucial, it says cornering, high speed, recommended low speed. So let's just check that. So suspension number 1, change design. It does give an increase ability in low speed, medium speed, and high speed cornering, which is what we want. Because if we put on number 2, the negatives go down. But I guess, is it? Yeah, so that's going to take us down. Yeah, so we should be 3 places better. Yes, our top speed will be lower, but you don't get up to top speed that much in Hungary. So I think we are going to go for that, and we're going to risk it and see what happens. Right, we also have rear wing suspension, side pod suspension, and suspension research. Why did I say suspension, and research? Rear wing, side pod, and suspension research all happening at the moment, which is going to be ending anytime soon. We've got a new front wing, new chassis, and some new the suspension second design going well as well. And we have £33 million in the bank. Lovely stuff. We've still got 37% of our cost cap remaining as well. I think it's fair to say that this season has gone much better than the first attempt with Brawn, and we're not mentioning that. It's now completely swept under the carpet. This is all we know that Brawn are good for. So I will go ahead, simulate Hungary, and then we'll be back just before Belgium. See you in a bit. So Hungary has been simulated. Daniel Ricciardo up in 7th, climbed 2 places from his qualifying position of 9th. Very well done for him. However, Ollie Behrman did not finish the race. A DNF for Ollie Behrman. So we're not going to get the payout for Ollie Behrman, but Daniel Ricciardo, another 6 points on the board, beat both Mercedes drivers, but they did tally 6 points. So we will still be tied on 73 in 4th. In terms of the pit stops, we're still now back out of the top 10. Not great. We are actually focusing our pit stop stuff on less errors rather than increased speed, but I do think in the summer break we're going to do a lot of focus on speed. But our front wing is manufactured, which is nice. Obviously the thing with we get high confidence, an extra £1.5 million. That is absolutely lovely. Thank you, board members, for that one. Now, interestingly, what did Ollie Behrman do to his car? That is the question. Okay, so he smashed up a front wing. That's not too bad. We've just built more of them. He's smashed up a rear wing as well. That's mightily impressive, Oliver, to smash up your front and rear wing. But everything else looks okay, and the powertrain doesn't seem too damaged. We need a new chassis for Daniel Ricciardo, and we're going back to the suspension number 2 on the car for the top speed that we do need in Belgium. That's an obvious one that we have to make that. So the front wing has been manufactured. Aha! Paul Rivera has signed his new contract for us. Lovely, lovely stuff. That's just going to cost us 80,000 for his signing on fee. That is very nice indeed. And Gabriel Bortoletto is going to be signing as a affiliate driver for us next season, which is absolutely lovely. It's going to cost us 1.1489 million. I'm not sure why. But yeah, we'll get him in. Is he joining now? I thought he was joining at the end of the season, but maybe he's joining now. We've got an F2 driver talent, Kimi Antonelli. Yeah, I would love to sign Antonelli, but everybody signs Antonelli, so I feel like it's not really worth it. Did we pick up Bortoletto? No, we didn't. He must be moving to us at the end of the season. So, we need to keep a check on drivers that we have and making sure they don't get poached. And if they do get poached, we then give ourselves the buyout fee, because that is still a bug in the game. If we look at our scouting information, so Oliver Behrman, we're offering him a new contract. We've got Daniel Ricciardo. We are scouting Abby Pulling and Chloe Chambers, just because I would like a female affiliate driver in our team. And there you go. We have Gabriel Bortoletto, agreed contract starting on the 1st of January 2025, which is absolutely awesome, to be honest. Signing him up from Invicta Racing. He has a very high development rate, very good enthusiasm at the moment as well, which is cracking. We've also got, I think, an offer in for Colapinto. No, he's agreed to join us as well. Colapinto is joining. I didn't realise that we had agreed it, but we have agreed it, and he is in. Did we get Hauger as well? No, he's out of contract. Mick Schumacher I've scouted as well, just to see, it could be for the lulz. Jack Doohan would be a good one, but I don't think we need him. I've scouted a few people just to make sure we do have backups in place in case Oliver Behrman gets poached or doesn't agree to his new contract. But lots of stuff happening in the background. I also think counter offer for Oliver Behrman. He wants 600 grand more in salary, he wants a much lower breakout and a bigger signing on fee, and he wants his bonus threshold to be 9th. I think 9th is a bit too low, Ollie. I think 9th's a bit taking a piss a little bit. So we'll go 5th there. You can have a slightly bigger race bonus. We're gonna have to increase your multiplier, and we'll give you your salary. We'll boost your signing on bonus a little bit. Let's give you what, 450? I feel like 450 would be decent. It's not really budging your. We'll go 445. It's not really budging his stuff there. What about the bonus? Let's give you 150. No, we'll go 150. You can have 28 days to make your decision. 3 seasons. Start date next season. Salary 3.67. We're going to go with that. We're going to go with the proposal. See what he says. And hopefully he gets back to us and says, yeah, he's happy to stay. Because I feel like we've invested a lot in Ollie Behrman this year. So it would be quite nice to keep him around. We have just done that counter offer. Yes, we have. So Abby Pulling, 5 months left on her deal at the moment. What is her development rate? Is very high as well. Okay, so that's one to keep an eye on. We have also looked at Chloe Chambers, but we'll do that through the official news that we've got. Chloe Chambers, 54 overall at the moment. She is development rate high. She's 20 years old, the American driver. Abby Pulling's 21, but does have a very high driver development rate. I'm not sure. We'll keep an eye on her. We'll keep an eye on Abby for the moment. But yeah, as I said, I'd quite like to have a female affiliate, because all the big F1 teams do have a female affiliate driver as part of the W Racing. No, the Academy Racing it's called now, isn't it? Academy Racing. So anyway, we are ready for Belgium. There's a 50% chance for safety car, high speed performance, so we should do pretty well. And it's best to do a one stop is what Ron Meadows is telling us out there. But yeah, circuit info. We're not expecting any rain, so be prepared for normal dry weather racing. Okay, into race targets then. Oh, hang on. What are we? 7th on the grid. Daniel Ricciardo can definitely get 11th or higher. 8th on the grid. I'm going to go that Ollie Behrman can get 15th. I think Ollie Behrman can get 15th. I'll go and do practice. We'll be back for qualifying. Here we are then, back for qualifying, as practice is done and dusted. So we need to put all the good parts back in the car. We are going to go with a pretty good engine here, because I think you need some very good components in the car. You need to have that downforce, that speed, and the acceleration as well. So your best parts are needed. As you can see, Ollie Bearman is racking through his parts relatively quickly, but he's not wrecked. Well, he's wrecked 2 of these, hasn't he? He's not completely wrecked that much, other than 2 gearboxes, which I think one of them wasn't really his fault either. But we are ready to go. We are here in Belgium for Q1, so I'm excited for this one. Let's see how the guys can get on. We are green. People are going out. We're going to go out with Max Verstappen straight away as the pit crew are there. That's Ollie Bearman just going out, giving it a little looky look, see what he can do. Well, it's on pause. Get out there. Let's get Daniel Ricciardo out there after a Watter as well. So the other thing you can do on this mod is you can manually move drivers around. So we could, in theory, I think it's programmed in the game for Lewis Hamilton to move to Ferrari anyway. I think his agreed contract is already in there, as Bearman goes 1 second slower than Verstappen. Not great from Ollie Bearman there, as Daniel Ricciardo goes 7/10 off Verstappen. So we could move, like Carlos Sainz could be agreed to go to Williams. We can put that move in the game for the second season, just to keep it realistic if we want to. Obviously, we won't move Ollie Bearman to Haas because he's our driver. But there is things like that we can do. The other thing, I think, is that in the summer, we're going to use it as an opportunity to potentially improve our car a little bit more and keep our research going or designs going for this season. Daniel Ricciardo is going to get a fantastic lap here, as should Ollie Bearman, because they've both got free air. As Daniel Ricciardo improves to go half a second slower than the leaders. And we'll just have a look to see what Ollie Bearman does. Ollie Bearman doesn't improve. He got held up a little bit, but we should be good enough to get both drivers into Q2. And it is both drivers 5th and 10th, so very comfortably into Q2. But this is the one where we need to get both drivers definitely into that top 10. So we'll put the old set on like we normally do. We'll put the old set on for a bit of a scrub. Just put a banker lap in. But Daniel Ricciardo showed the pace there was about half a second, 5/10 off the lead cars. So that's what we'll be looking for again, pretty much. Daniel Ricciardo is the better driver than Ollie Bearman, so he can show the pace in the car probably better than the young Englishman. But we shall see how he gets on. He's going to catch Bottas at a pretty annoying area. But a 1:41.2 isn't dreadful. Ollie Bearman goes 3/10 slower than his teammate. We actually went faster than Leclerc in that one, but I'm not... The traffic in this is dreadful around Belgium. There's a few corners that you can really get caught on. So we'll put both drivers onto their clean set of softs and then try and time this to get them out. I've got a feeling Bearman may hit some traffic here, but Daniel Ricciardo should get a free lap. He's just going to hit... When's he going to hit Hamilton? He's hit him on a corner, which is annoying. Ollie Bearman, on the other hand, might get through. Daniel Ricciardo doesn't go quicker. He does go a little bit quicker. He does improve a little bit. Ollie Bearman doesn't improve 3/10 off his teammate. Russell and Hamilton in that group below. Maybe Tsunoda could improve. It's going to be an interesting end to Q2. Bearman drops down to 10th because Russell improves. Hamilton, you'd imagine, will jump up. He pushes Bearman out in 11th. Does Carlos Sainz improve from 12th? Carlos Sainz does not improve from 12th. So the big news is that Ollie Bearman and Carlos Sainz are out in Q2. Iwasa didn't get through. Tsunoda didn't get through. Yeah, there was no one really unexpected in Q1. But we get Daniel Ricciardo into Q3. And to be honest, I think we're just going to do a sort of one and done here. I think we're just going to do a one and done lap with Daniel Ricciardo, because I don't feel... If he starts 10th, I'm still relatively happy. But I think I've got more chance of timing it better. And I do aim for the lower points in this graph, by the way, because it does normally make sense. So Russell's doing his quick lap there. Yeah, so if we go out after Russell, we should be in a good position here, because Russell's going to come in. Everybody else is out on track. So Daniel Ricciardo is now going to have a free track in front of him, because everybody else is going to come in. So this is Daniel Ricciardo's free air best time on brand new softs. 7/10 off the lead P5. That's where he got to at the earlier stages of Q2. But yeah, I'm expecting Hamilton and Perez and Norris and Russell to probably go ahead of us. But I like what I've seen. Oh, they've got a yellow flag. That could be interesting. That could reduce some times of people. There's jumping all over the way. Ricciardo's down to 7th. Does George Russell improve? No, he cancels his time. P7 for Daniel Ricciardo. Not too shabby at all. So a decent qualifying for Ricciardo. And Ollie Bearman in 11th, I'm not too upset about either. They did say, Ron Meadows, our sporting director, said the one stop is the quickest, should be the quickest. So we probably will put Daniel Ricciardo on a one stop, but can we make it any quicker? So it's all 1:15:56. If we go too far that way, what if we extend the softs and then push the hards? 1:15:55. That is quicker. That is quicker to extend those. To extend the softs is quicker. Interesting. It's a second quicker to do that as a one stop. I think we go for that and say it's and we'll do a bit of manual tyre management in there for Daniel Ricciardo. Now, 3 seconds. They're saying 3 seconds. 2 seconds. It's saying Ollie Bearman doesn't quite have the tyre deg to make this work. So surely if we push... Oh, hello. This is going to change my mind for Daniel Ricciardo now, because we can go 7 seconds quicker. I mean, can you even push that? If you push that first set, if you push all of these, it's not quicker than 7. So if you push that, ease off that one, and get that back to that 7-second improvement. Right, and then is that... Sometimes it's not quicker to push the softs. But 7 seconds seems to be the best we're still getting, so we might as well push them a little bit. And get on them as early as possible, which is there. And then give it one. We'll give it one rest. Okay, Ollie Bearman's definitely doing that if it's like 7 seconds quicker than what we were planning before. We'll get both drivers ready to push from the line. Daniel Ricciardo's going to do his faithful tactic of underfueling the car and running in low power mode, which seems to be working, to be honest. So we'll underfuel the car there. Ollie Bearman, we're still not too sure he can pull it off, so we'll keep doing his 3-lap underfuel. Go from there. Right, into the race. Let's get into this one for Belgium. I'm very excited. I do like Spa-Francorchamps as a circuit. Everyone loves seeing cars fly up Eau Rouge. And here we go. I've got a feeling I might be getting a bit of reverb from my actual sound coming off my PC, which is why people wear headphones, and I should really do that myself. But here we go then. So Daniel Ricciardo up in 7th, Ollie Bearman in 11th. What are we going to have off the line here? Bearman standing 11th at the moment. Drops down to 12th. Sainz has apparently got him on the inside at turn 1. And Daniel Ricciardo having a little old battle there with Fernando Alonso. What's everyone starting on? We've got Piastri running on hards. Everyone running on softs other than Piastri and hards, and Sargent on the mediums is very interesting to say the least. So what was it like? Was it say a 50% chance of a safety car here? It's Fernando Alonso that's not getting any slipstream, so we should be able to go around the outside of Alonso. Daniel Ricciardo's trying to make this one stick. He's battling with the experienced Spaniard all the way on lap 1. They've been side by side, 2 wide for basically the whole lap so far. As I'd say, we're about halfway through, and there Daniel Ricciardo gets the inside and can hopefully make that one stick as he sits in just behind Piastri there. Ollie Bearman has got back in front of Carlos Sainz, and he is chasing down the other Aston Martin in Lance Stroll. Lawrence Stroll is his dad. He's the man with the money. But yes, it looks like pretty good. So Ricciardo's gained a spot up to 6th, overtaking Fernando Alonso. Piastri on those hards is the man that's sort of getting in the way, to put it politely at the moment, because he is on the hards and we need to pass him as soon as possible. So let's go higher overtake on aggression. And then I think we're going to ask Daniel Ricciardo to also get in clean air as soon as he can. But he might make the move here into the chicane. No, Piastri comes off, defends him well. Obviously, as the time of recording this, Piastri has just won the Baku Grand Prix. So very good news for him there. Shall we drive in clean air here, or should we do it going... In fact, we don't really want to get the move done here. We want to get the DRS, really. But we're just going to leave it. I think he'll get the move done anyway, because Piastri's not going to have DRS. So if Piastri defends us as much as he can here, we're going to get it here. Hopefully that's the DRS detection marks, and I think we were just behind. And Daniel Ricciardo gets that move done. And does have the DRS as well. So hopefully that will pull us up towards Lando Norris. And we're doing alright. Ollie Bearman looks like he could be in a position to get Lance Stroll. Can he put it into turn 1? No, he can't. We are just going to say rarely defend for there as well for Ollie Bearman. Because we don't want him to cause any silly incidents at the moment. But both drivers going well. 2 laps down. And Daniel Ricciardo is on the back of Lando Norris as well. So let's whack him into neutral. We'll start conserving his battery. We've also got to look after his tyres. So we'll just make sure everybody's happy with what they're doing at the moment. Where is Ollie Bearman? Ollie Bearman, I'd like Ollie Bearman to get past Lance Stroll. And when he's got past him, then we'll ease off on the old battery front. But yeah, so far, both drivers doing okay. Look like Ollie Bearman just had a poor exit there because Lance Stroll's just put a bit of gap between himself and Ollie Bearman. So we'll just let Ollie Bearman settle in there now. Daniel Ricciardo also lost a lot of time there to Lando Norris. Perez has pushed his tyres more than anyone. Russell has pushed them a little bit more. Bearman has pushed a little bit more. But it could also be general how good the driver is at looking after tyres as well. But I'm pretty confident Daniel Ricciardo will get back into this gap. Although Lando Norris is 2 seconds off the leaders. So if we can push here, we'll push a little bit more. Because I think Daniel Ricciardo can... Once we're behind Lando Norris, I'm more than happy. If we can sit in Lando Norris's DRS, then I'll be more than happy indeed. Because that is what we need to do. In fact, take off ERS Battle Assist and just deploy it as much as you can. As Daniel Ricciardo goes flat out up Eau Rouge, it sounded like. Very nice indeed. 1.5. Yeah, because I can sit behind Lando Norris knowing Piastri's on hards behind us. As Bearman loses out to Carlos Sainz. I don't need to watch that back. That'll be during DRS up Eau Rouge or just after Eau Rouge. So this is the point where we want Daniel Ricciardo to really make up the time on Lando Norris if he can. Because obviously Daniel Ricciardo doing the one stop, which our sporting director said was quicker. So if we're going to put our sporting director, you know, trust his judgment, he needs to be right on those sorts of decisions. I wonder if we need to push our tyres a little bit more just to get them into... oh, so what's Ollie Bearman doing? He's just been overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda. Bloody hell, Ollie. Come on, mate. Put in a bit of a fight. Daniel Ricciardo pushing a little bit harder, seeing if he can get within that second of Lando Norris, who is nearly 3 seconds off Charles Leclerc in the front 3. So Lando Norris really is a sitting duck on his own. We're putting a good bit of time between us and Oscar Piastri as well. So not too bad at all. Come on, you're nearly there, Daniel. You're nearly there. If you can get within the DRS. He has got within the DRS. I just want to make sure he gets it here. So now we'll pop him into neutral. Get those tyres back in line. Because he should have the DRS up here. Which will then put him in time, in place for going up Eau Rouge as well. So he is going to be more than fine sitting behind Lando Norris with the DRS pulling him along for a little while anyway. I'm sure that gap will increase again as it goes by, but we'll keep an eye on Daniel Ricciardo. Ollie Bearman seems to be struggling a little bit here in Belgium. Maybe he could do with a little boost as well, and we'll just put that back onto Battle Assist so that Daniel can see what's in. He might even go for a move on Lando. No, is he going to go for a move on Lando? He is going to go for a move on Lando. Okay, these two swapping positions with DRS wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. I do think the front runners are a bit too far for us to catch. So Ollie Bearman is dropping off. Alright, I'll tell you what, Ollie. We're just going to let... Ollie's lost another position. Hulkenberg snuck up the inside of him. Unbelievable. Come on, Ollie. Put it in, mate. You've got it. So Ollie Bearman's finding his groove a little bit more. He's overtaken Tsunoda and Hulkenberg to get back up into 12th, but is running 2.7 seconds behind Lance Stroll, which is a bit of a shame. Daniel Ricciardo and Lando Norris are pulling each other along with DRS, which is lovely. There's a few battles like this going into the chicane and things like that, which are slowing them down a little bit, but we've literally run Daniel Ricciardo on top up ever since the last time I was talking to you, and he hasn't lost pace to Lando Norris. So yeah, this is absolutely fine for Daniel Ricciardo, up in 5th, battling for 4th, and basically charging his battery as much as he needs. I've got a feeling if we've got DRS here, which it looks like we are going to have, we could leave this on deploy and absolutely drop Lando Norris. So we may do that now. Just get it on deploy for the rest of the lap. Like, take battle assist off. Get this move done here, and then just try and leave Lando Norris behind. Break that 1 second. Again, I don't think we're going to close the gap to the front three, but we may be able to leave Lando Norris behind battling with Lewis Hamilton and make it happen for ourselves that way, because that was a great little strategy of just topping up the battery and making it work. So you can see from Lando Norris's view here. Let's have a look if Daniel Ricciardo can pull away. There's a yellow flag somewhere. Tsunoda's got a problem. 2 cars are out. Who's out then? We've got possible debris. We've got a crash involving multiple cars. I think it was Tsunoda. It's Nico Hulkenberg's there trying to get past both V-carbs in one move. Turned in too soon. There's another collision there. It doesn't look like anyone's out, but Yuki Tsunoda definitely came off worse out of that, dropping back a little bit. Possible debris on track. Daniel Ricciardo 0.64 ahead of Lando Norris, but this technical area here is where we should be able to deploy the battery and pull away a little bit. Ollie Behrman 2.8 seconds off Lance Stroll, so hopefully Behrman's strategy puts him in a good position for an attack later on. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo so far having a decent race, 0.8 away. Tsunoda and Hulkenberg, they are saying no penalties given to anybody, which is quite an interesting call. But yeah, again, Daniel Ricciardo, yeah, he's not pulled away as much as I would have liked. Maybe Lando is deploying a little bit of battery in this section here, but we're going to keep Daniel Ricciardo on it and see what he can do with that deployment. We'll give him ERS battle assist because Lando is now going to be in range. But again, to be honest, I mean, I could just leave him in top up and make sure we've got battery at the end of the race, because these guys are just DRS hopping, so why not? Why not just let him enjoy it? Why just let him enjoy it? So Ollie Behrman overtakes Iwasa on the inside. Lovely bit down, just coming up Eau Rouge into the corner. Has that inside line, gets it done. Ollie Behrman up. I think Iwasa will probably take him back later on in this lap, but we'll see. So we've got the first of the pit stops happening. Hamilton, Hulkenberg, Ocon and Bottas all coming in off their soft tyres. We'll have a quick check. Hamilton's out on the mediums, so he's doing a 2-stop, I would suggest, because he's pitted very early for that to be a 1-stop, so we'll see how that works out for Lewis Hamilton. Daniel Ricciardo is just about keeping pace with Lando Norris. As you can see, lots of battery charged for Daniel, which is lovely. In fact, we're going to deploy the battery and ease off the tyre wear a little bit, just to keep it on track with what we need. Ollie Behrman as well, deploying the battery, trying to pull away from Iwasa, but not having it just yet. If we can sneak Ollie Behrman into the points, that would be absolutely glorious, and I'm hoping it's his strategy that's going to help him do that. But yeah, we shall see. Daniel Ricciardo has been absolutely dropped by Lando Norris there. Maybe we can't ease off the tyres here in Belgium. We need to keep them going as the strategy suggests. So yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not disappointed with 5th either for Daniel Ricciardo, but I think he can get Lando Norris in this race. So Daniel Ricciardo is definitely struggling for pace because of his tyres. 3% worse than Norris, 4% worse than Sainz, who you can just see gaining on us behind, which is a little bit of a concern. Sainz has made up about 2 seconds-ish on Daniel Ricciardo, so I'm wondering if the 2-stopper is potentially the best. Now, between Ricciardo and Behrman is enough space, so we could map Daniel Ricciardo onto a similar strategy as Ollie Behrman. If we edit that strategy, it was, yeah, see that 2-stopper there is only 1 second slower, and we get on the mediums a little bit earlier. If we were to say go onto the mediums now, this lap, add a new stint, have we got another set of softs, full softs? Yeah, we do. And then get on the softs, like it's around there, isn't it? I think we're pushing the mediums full on Ollie Behrman's. So 1:15.50. I just feel like that might suit us better with how much tyre wear we're having. Our car isn't best on tyre preservation. I think we're going to go for this. It's a 1:50. Oh, it is saying, yeah, it's saying it's going to be 5 seconds quicker. Okay, so yeah, I think that's the right call to make. So, because we should now be able to get both drivers in and out. Okay, they're not completely new, the softs we're going to put him on. We could do Daniel onto mediums. We'll see how that goes as we push. But what that does mean is that Daniel can push on this in-lap on those tyres. And so it goes, as can Ollie Behrman a little bit as well. So Ricciardo's going to be pitting this lap. I'm wondering if we're going to match anybody at the front either, or they're all definitely committing to a one stop. But I think with how much Sainz is catching us, it makes sense to do this. I do think it makes sense to do this. We're sort of now matching Hamilton. We're a bit behind Hamilton, right? But we've got 3, 11, 13. It should be plenty of time to do a pit stop on the same lap. So we'll track Daniel Ricciardo around here just in 2 times speed for the moment, just to get him to the pit entrance and see how this goes. As he's pushing those tyres a little bit more, put a bit more of a gap into Sainz. It does seem that if you can push the tyres, it is good. As Daniel is in the pit lane, Piastri has a mechanical fault. That could be huge for Behrman, who is back into the points after the first set of pit stops have happened. But yeah, Daniel Ricciardo into the pit lane. Drops down to 6th as Sainz goes past him while he pits. And again, we've got to go all the way to the end of the pit lane, which is a little bit of a nightmare. But as he comes out onto those medium tyres, decent stop, 2.6. Not bad. The crew are going to have to get straight out on this. Straight away. I can't even speak today. Are we... Ricciardo's out in P8. That's a really good stop then. He's actually... Yeah, I'm happy with that. On the softs go 2.7. Not the best. But yeah, not bad. Daniel Ricciardo is already overtaking Oscar Piastri there. So this looks like a great move. Still in 7th. Behrman comes out in 13th. And yeah, okay, he's a bit way off Iwasa, which is a little bit annoying, but we have got 9% better tyres. And yeah, I think we're going to be in a good position. I think we're going to be in a good position here. Both drivers pushing the tyres hard. We just need to get Ollie Behrman some battery back in his power pack. But yeah, can we should reel in Alonso and Sainz and Norris. Pretty good. I wonder if the AI is going to react with Norris, seeing that we've just pitted. We'll have to wait and see. And interestingly, the AI has reacted with Lando Norris, who has pitted. Are we going to jump Lando Norris? It's going to be very close. Deploy out of this corner. Lando Norris is just getting to the point where he can put his foot down. It's going to be incredibly close. I think we have jumped him. We have jumped him. Lovely stuff there from the pit crew then. That has worked out wonderfully well. So Norris could still well be doing a one-stop, but we've got to use this to put a gap between us and see if we can make this work, as Ollie Behrman is just approaching on Iwasa as well. Again, we need him to charge up his battery a little bit. Alonso is out in front of Ollie Behrman, but that wasn't really his fight, to be honest. We'll pop him into top up for a little bit and see what he can do. But now both drivers on the mediums pushing hard. Let's see what they can do before that final soft on the or stints on the soft. So interesting news coming from Red Bull is that Perez has a mechanical issue. Bottas, Albon and Magnussen all with mechanical issues fall into the back. Piastri's fallen well off the pace with his mechanical issue. So that one for Perez could be very interesting indeed. If we look at the cars, where is Perez? Perez, he's got 35% on his gearbox. Yeah, that's his mechanical issue, is his gearbox. Interesting. If that blows up, he will have to retire. And that would be wonderful for us, because it could put us into a podium for Daniel Ricciardo, which is interesting. Ollie Behrman up into 9th. He's dropped Iwasa behind him as well. So at the moment, the strategy to push the tyres is working pretty well. It's just, is it going to be worth it at the end of the race when we're on those softs? We'll have to wait and see. And Lando Norris having a mechanical fault as well, up in 5th, which is going to give us even more of a gap for Daniel Ricciardo to have a bit of safety. And could Norris drop down the order and Behrman potentially pick up another place? That would be absolutely epic. But Daniel Ricciardo up in 4th. He is slowly sort of closing the gap in certain areas on Sergio Perez. But I don't think we need to worry too much about pushing this too hard. We are actually going below our estimated wear as well, which means these mediums are running very, very well indeed. And again, Daniel Ricciardo's got another set of mediums he could put on at the end and push hard. They're not getting into the red over temps either. So I'm just thinking, I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. Let's edit this one onto the mediums on a full push. It's so much quicker. It's so much quicker to do medium. Does Ollie Behrman have a set of mediums? No, he doesn't. He's only got hards, which are... We might as well put the softs on and run like that, I think. Do we get anything quicker? No, we don't. Okay, so we were on the optimal, I think, which was that 1:15.52. So, okay, they are going to be pitting on exactly the same lap, but there should still be a distance enough between them that we can get that done. But Daniel Ricciardo, I mean, we're managing our engines well. The AI looks to be struggling a little bit in terms of what they can do. But yeah, we're going to put Daniel Ricciardo on a full push stint of mediums and Ollie Bearman onto a aggressive push stint of softs. But I reckon Ollie Bearman could even stay out a lap because he's not pushing those mediums, or they're not degrading as much as they should be. So both drivers at the moment looking in good positions. Okay, so Daniel Ricciardo just coming into the last chicane. He's lost a bit of time to Sergio Perez now, but he's going to come in. He needs a good stop. This has to be a good stop. We've put 10.8 seconds between us and Lando Norris. So ideally, we come out in front of Alonso and catch up Sainz and Norris very, very quickly and get that fourth spot back. That is absolutely key. As you can just see some of the lap cars going past us. That is Lando Norris who's just gone past us. So come on, pit stop crew. 2.6 is good. That's a good stop for us. And now Daniel needs to get his butt moving. He really, really does. We've not got that many laps to go, and we're still over on the fuel a little bit. I should probably be concerned, but I think we'll be okay. Daniel Ricciardo is out in front of Alonso, and actually not that far off Carlos Sainz. 6 seconds. We should be able to make that up pretty easily. Ollie Bearman is just going to get his stop onto the soft tyres now. Let's see how he goes. 2.8. Again, not dreadful for the team. Not dreadful. He drops to 12th. He should get out in front of Iwasa. And he's actually going to be out in front of George Russell, battling George Russell on pit exit. So that could help him out for a bit of DRS as well, straight away. But Daniel Ricciardo is our focus at the moment. Let's get him onto deploy, take him off ERS Battle Assist, and see if he can get those moves done. Hopefully that Williams gets out of the way relatively easily, as we're looking to pass who I think is potentially Alex Albon, because Sargent's in the pits. So yeah, we need a good outlap here from both drivers. Come on, Daniel, get back up to 4th. It's a big ask, being about well, actually, he's only 6 seconds off Lando Norris, so it's not going to be dreadful if we can pass this Williams with ease. I mean, it should be blue flagged and get out the way. It does get out the way, allows us to keep our pace going through as well. All eyes on Daniel Ricciardo, and Ollie Bearman, I think, does have a chance to get into the points again on his strategy as well. So we're doing pretty good. Let's keep going, boys. 10 laps to go. Daniel Ricciardo, 1.4 seconds off the place that he pitted from in 4th. So this could work out pretty well. I don't think we're going to have enough to catch Perez. His mechanical fault seems to be okay. It's not going to cause him too much issues before the end of the race. But yeah, 1.2 seconds to Lando Norris. We should jump Norris. We've got 88% tyres. They're on 68 and 61. Bearman on 86 is chasing down Piastri, technically Stroll and Russell, who are on much, much worse tyres than him in front. And he has already caught Russell. You can see there he's having a battle with George Russell. And Russell gets past him using DRS. But I don't mind that. Piastri's mechanical fault has got slightly worse, apparently. So we'll keep an eye on that. Actually, Ollie Bearman's got so much battery. Let's get a deploy going on that and give him a bit of a push. As there is Lando Norris. We will have DRS on the next lap. We are cooking here. Daniel Ricciardo potentially on for 5th, potentially on for 4th. I think once we get past Lando Norris, we will be able to push a little bit harder on the old battery. Lando Norris, you can see, has to brake so early on those used tyres. We've made up about 0.4 of a second just in that one corner, which means we can get up to the back of him now with DRS. I don't think we're going to send it. He's having a little look there, Daniel, but it wasn't the best attempt of a send. We might as well get it done here. We're going to have the DRS as well, which should pull us even closer to Carlos Sainz, and that would be absolutely lovely. Lando Norris is not going to have DRS here at the top of Eau Rouge, so it should be a relatively easy pass for Daniel Ricciardo. He's sort of easing off the throttle a little bit there. He's jinked to the right, jinked to the left. Lando Norris tries to defend it, but can't brake as much as Daniel Ricciardo can on those new tyres. And now we have to push and catch up with Carlos Sainz in front. 1.4 seconds away, Carlos Sainz, as Ollie Bearman is back up into 11th place, now tracing down Lance Stroll. But we're going to stick with Daniel Ricciardo because he is the man for us at the moment. He is racing so well this season for Brawn GP. He's having a cracking time of it. And look at him, he has reeled in Carlos Sainz there. And again, I think if we can just get through these little bits here, we can probably even drop into neutral for this bit. We're 0.9, 0.8. We are doing very well. George Russell still keeping pace with Ollie Bearman. We're asking him to push his battery as much as possible and make something happen. He's getting his fuel back in line. I'm still a little bit concerned about Daniels, but it should be okay with 7 laps to go. And now we're right behind Carlos Sainz. We can top up our battery. We don't have to make any moves, to be honest. But I think Daniel Ricciardo is going to have the natural pace on these new tyres to just breeze past Carlos Sainz. We've already dropped Lando Norris by 2.5 seconds. That's how much these new tyres are helping us out at the moment. Is he going to have a look up the inside? He has that same sort of manoeuvre that he tried on Lando, but it didn't quite work. Now all I want to do is make sure that we've got the DRS. There's one. That's the start-finish line. There's the detection line, or the start of the detection. We are well within a second. Let's go for it, Daniel. Let's go for it. Come on, lad. We just need to put as much space as possible between us and Carlos Sainz, as we're going to fly up the inside even before the corner. There's a yellow flag somewhere. I think it could be Ollie Bearman, because he's got a little indicating line. Multiple cars have crashed. It says involving cars. Ollie Bearman's still moving. That's George Russell. Oh, is Ollie Bearman got hit up the arse by George Russell? That is... Oh, Russell, what are you playing at? Both cars get going. I mean, that has to be blamed on George Russell. That has to be blamed on George Russell. If Ollie Bearman comes out of that with a 5-second penalty, that is absolutely horrendous, by the way. So he's going to have a rear wing damage. He's got... Oh, he's got a... Well, one tyre's over. Suspension, rear wing and chassis. That's very irritating. 30% tyres. It's absolutely killed his tyres. Oh, Ollie Bearman is going to have to come in and put on his other set of soft tyres and see what he can do. That has absolutely killed Ollie Bearman's chance of points. He's in puncture territory with 7 laps to go. That is very annoying for him. But Daniel Ricciardo is pulling away. They've given a time penalty to George Russell. Good. 5 seconds. That's going to cost us more than 5 seconds. But, yeah, we're going to come out ahead of Ocon. It was going to be 14th where we come back out. So, yeah, Ollie Bearman's just got to nurse that car back round with the aerodynamic damage. Damage to his tyres as well. We'll just put him into standard. Don't risk getting a puncture or anything. But, yeah, Daniel Ricciardo has broken the DRS to Carlos Sainz. The battery management on Daniel Ricciardo, by the way, has been superb in this race. So I think... Oh, he must have just got DRS. Carlos Sainz. That's irritating. Right, let's just deploy everything you got and we'll pull away. We'll hopefully pull away. I just want to do a really weird look here to see if Carlos Sainz is going to get DRS. We're 1.2 away. Is his rear wing going to open? No, it's not. Good. There we go. So he didn't have DRS, which means we have pulled away ever so slightly from Carlos Sainz, and hopefully we can keep that going. Ollie Bearman will be coming into the pits yet again. Oh, it's bad luck. It's bad luck for Ollie Bearman. Russell's got a pit as well for his damage. Not surprised about that, to be honest. But Russell will have his time penalty in here. I don't think we're going to have enough laps to catch up Yuki Tsunoda after another pit stop, but we shall see. Carlos Sainz is 1.5 seconds away. So Daniel Ricciardo's doing a good job there. Here is Ollie Bearman. Piastri's mechanical fault has got worse. So he is still struggling. Tsunoda has an issue. 2.4 seconds. So Ollie Bearman's best pit stop is actually the one that he does at the end of the race. So Tsunoda with an issue is not too bad for us. Right, Ollie Bearman, you give it everything you've got, mate, on these tyres. Absolutely launch it. Why not, mate? Absolutely launch it. And deploy it out of the pits as well. Nearly 2 seconds back now to Carlos Sainz, which is lovely. We've just got to make sure that Bottas or Zhou here doesn't do anything stupid as we're trying to overtake them. I do think we get DRS off the back markers, though, which is quite handy. So 7 laps to go for the drivers. And we do get the DRS, which is going to help us pull away even further. So we can just drop in top up for a little bit. Front tyre picking up a bit of vibration. We can drop them down. We don't need to be so aggressive. We can get some temperature out of them if needs be. 2.6 seconds. Ollie Bearman is 17 seconds behind Yuki Tsunoda. So I think Oliver Bearman's chance of points are done and dusted, with no thanks to George Russell. He's on our hit list, George Russell. He's on Ollie Behrman's hit list. But 5 laps to go. Daniel Ricciardo in 4th and cruising at the moment, doing a very good job. And Ollie Behrman in 13th, having a bit of a struggle, but still getting his bonus payout, which is nice, I think. I think he was 14th. If we had a few more laps in this race, I think Daniel Ricciardo would catch Perez. Perez is having a shocker. His mechanical fault must be causing him a lot of issues because we have basically closed the gap by around about 7 seconds to Sergio Perez. We're now 6.9 behind. There's only 2 laps to go, but we are having a great time of it. Sainz is 5 seconds away, so we really can ask Daniel to... I mean, he's not even overheating his tyres. Ollie Behrman is 7 seconds ahead of Ocon and 13 seconds behind Tsunoda, so we might as well ask him to bring his tyres back into temperature. Both drivers back on fuel as well. It's been a decent race, other than the slight impact on Ollie Behrman from George Russell, which has damaged some components. Hopefully the gearbox hasn't taken a big issue. In fact, I don't think it has. Powertrain, gearbox. No, the gearbox hasn't taken any issue, so everything looking okay on those cars. And lots of other drivers having mechanical issues. Hopefully they take those to the next Grand Prix in Zandvoort as well, and we can make a difference. But we'll see. As Max Verstappen starts his final lap, Daniel Ricciardo will be starting his very shortly as well. And although we're on the final lap, and although we've had lots of mechanical faults, no DNFs here actually in Belgium. No safety car, no virtual safety car, nothing of the sort. A few little bumps and scratches along the way for Russell, Behrman. I think Tsunoda had one early on, didn't he, as well? But yeah, well driven by Daniel Ricciardo. Clap him home as Daniel Ricciardo brings it home in 4th for our best finish in the Grand Prix. Russell is out of the points. Hamilton is 7th. We're going to be overtaking or extending our lead on Mercedes. A good race there from Daniel Ricciardo. Ollie Behrman, a little bit unlucky to finish 13th, but a very good race from him. I'm going to assume he's going to finish 13th. I assume there's going to be no issues here. But Daniel Ricciardo 1 place off a podium. And as I said, with a few more, maybe 3 more laps. Let's have a look. So his last lap, what was his last lap? A 1:45.5. He was 3/10 quicker than Sergio Perez on that last lap. But we had nearly double the tyre wear left. So yeah. Daniel Ricciardo with a great race. Ollie Behrman will be coming through the final few corners, but it looks like he's going to secure 13th. So Max Verstappen wins it. Charles Leclerc in 2nd, Sergio Perez 3rd. Daniel Ricciardo up 3 places to 4th. He is having a great season in Brawn. Ollie Behrman loses 2 places, unfortunate for him. But I do think if it wasn't for that incident with George Russell, he would have been in the points. So I think he can hold his head up high. Daniel Ricciardo stays in 7th, goes ahead of Fernando Alonso by 17 points now. And in the Constructors, we go 6 points clear of Mercedes. Absolutely excellent. And both drivers did finish in their bonus positions, which means we get a lovely 1.43 million payout. Lovely stuff. More dollary dues in the bank. And now we get to go and simulate Zandvoort as our research is complete for our suspension and our side pods. And our sponsor plan review is done as well. That's going to be a nice little payout, isn't it? 3.8 million. Yes, please. No mandatory activities that month either. But lovely stuff from the drivers there. Research complete. Belgium feature race. Lovely stuff. On the cars, what have we got? Rear wing. Ooh, rear wing. Ooh, we don't have any rear wings available. Side pods, we do have a replacement that we can put on. Nothing on the powertrain. We just got to do that rear wing. The chassis is missing there. We have... Oh, number 3 is ready. Do we give number 3 to Ollie Behrman? I know it's a risk. No, we're going to put that on car 1, and then we'll give Ollie Behrman chassis number 2. His rear wing is missing, so for now we'll just give them both rear wing number 1, and the suspension is missing, but he can have that one because we have spares. So that was relatively easy. How long have we got? We've got 25 days until Zandvoort. Oh, magnificent. That means front wing. We can get 4 rear wings done in that time without having to worry about rushing them or anything like that. That's lovely. Let's go and design. Let's design it. I feel like another front wing. We've got 3 underfloors. Maybe 3 front wings is the way to go. We've got no period left or anything like that. But if we go all the corner in again, it's actually, yeah, it's good. Okay, so that's going to improve. Yeah, dirty. I don't want to take too much dirty air tolerance off. Airflow front. Oh, hello. 2 better grid positions on low speed and medium speed, and we're already the best in high speed. Yes, please. Take that off as well. Just a little bit. I think that is what we're going to go with. We'll whack loads of engineers on that. Keep it normal 29. 20 days means we could then make one for Zandvoort. If we do it intense at 29, 5.4. No, we've done all right. We don't need to rush anything. We've done okay with normal and things like that. At the moment. Let's get another research project going as well. We've done 1 chassis, 1 front wing, no rear wings, but we're manufacturing them. Side pods 1, underfloor 1, and suspension 1. Let's do another chassis. We'll just do a bog standard chassis here with engine cooling's got 30%. Okay, let's whack a load into engine cooling then, and making sure that we're trying to negate that change for next year. We'll put 1 engineer on that. 25 days for $1 million. That will be another chassis in the old research as well. Lovely stuff. We've got to do the sponsor plan, so maybe we'll actually sim Zandvoort in the next episode, because I think this is going to be quite a big episode with all of this stuff happening. We haven't got too much stuff that we've got to fill up. So, driver mentality. His driver mentality is very good. What have we got here? Development rate and driver mentality. I mean, his development rate doesn't really matter. Post-race diesel, your head of aerodynamics and technical chief. Let's send them to go and do some work. Have we got anything that pit crew fatigue? No, I don't do that. Head of aerodynamics will go again. Head of aerodynamics again. What's that? Wind tunnel? No, we're designing some stuff. Do we just send driver performance? I don't really want that to drop. Don't want his mentality to drop. Do you know what? I think Daniel Ricciardo's pretty buzzing. So let's send Daniel Ricciardo for his mentality. And then we'll send... We can actually do a little one here. The weather centre. The weather centre can be a thing. There we go. So we're going to get a payout from that one at the end of the month as well. Ollie Behrman is just slightly unhappy. Daniel Ricciardo is very, very happy indeed. Yeah, I think we'll leave it there. 37 million in the bank. We've had a couple of affiliate drivers signed as well in this episode, which is good. And we are on course for that. Ollie Behrman obviously is thinking about renewing his contract with us. So we will see how that goes. I want to keep Ollie Behrman. I think he can develop into a very good driver. But Daniel Ricciardo is on fire at the moment. He is absolutely loving it. We've got loads of money. Let's go and upgrade something. Boardroom is in need. What does that cost? 590. There we go. It's in need of refurbishment. We'll just build a new one. Memorabilia room, is that quite cheap? 586. We'll build one of those as well. Hospitality area, 1.8. Oh, that's quite a lot. Helipad, 360. Everyone loves a helipad. The tour centre, 100 grand. We'll do the tour centre as well. The team hub would be good, wouldn't it? 1.5. Gives us better team attractiveness. Mentality goes up for everybody. Yeah, that'll be our big investment for this. We will do the race simulator again soon as well. But yeah, I think that's loads of upgrades going on the facilities, loads of good stuff in this episode. Thank you very much for watching. In the next episode then we will be simulating Zandvoort and racing Monza. That makes sense. And then in the next episode I'm not sure if we want to simulate Baku. I quite like Baku. No, because I think in the next episode we'll simulate Zandvoort, be back for Monza, then we'll race Baku, race Singapore. We'll race Austin, simulate Mexico, and then we're making our way through towards the end of the season, which is absolutely cracking. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.